To the October 6, 2022 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please.
Mr. Margraf. Mr. Long.
Here.
Ms. Whitta. Here.
Is there any conflict of interest statements? Say no. Yeah.
No, sorry.
Okay, that's okay, no problem. Number 4, approval of minutes of the meeting of September 29th, 2022.
I'd like to make a recommendation that we push back the approval of minutes to our next meeting, which is October 13th, 2022.
And I'll concur. Okay, there are no bid openings. 6 matters from other department heads or the representatives.
2 items, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
First item is I have for you to have the Board of Public Works and Safety members sign with the proper names listed for the title sheet for Summer Street project that needs to go to the state. I ask that you would approve signatures on this title sheet.
Okay. Yeah. Just make a recommendation to approve these signings.
I'll make a recommendation that we approve
Signing the title sheet for Summer Street.
the title sheet for Summer Street, Phase 1 and 2.
Okay, and I will concur.
Thank you. Second item, wanted to let the board know that yesterday we were notified by the Indiana Department of Transportation that the 3 on-ramps eastbound for 8094 at Calumet, Indianapolis, and Kennedy will all be closed starting in the early morning hours of Monday, October 10th, reopening Sunday, October 16th. So wanted to make sure the board was aware of that situation.
Okay. We don't need to make a recommendation.
No,
Can't
sir.
do anything about it, right?
It's a traffic concern that I think the general public should know about, in particular police and fire.
Linda, can you make sure the fire gets that? I'll make sure the police does, for sure. I'll put that out today.
Thank you.
Okay.
While you're here, 173rd is still closed as of this morning.
It should have reopened at 7:30 p.m. last night. We were in.
So, well, I can just tell you Lyman. I can't get down. So that's more like I didn't see it over.
Okay, I'll check on Lyman, but I went by there at 5 o'clock last night. We're talking about 173rd. It looked like they were just doing some topsoil around the sidewalk for safety. Most of the pavement markings were down. I was told by the project manager that the road 173rd would reopen by 7:30 p.m. last night. I didn't go. I should have gone checked it this morning, but I will check on Lyman.
And it could have just been Lyman.
Okay, thank you.
I'll check on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to correspondence. Correspondence A, correspondence for the Wildwood Drive closure bids.
So we received a recommendation by First Group Engineering to reject the bid that we received last week for the Wildwood closure project. And so we will regroup and try to get this bid over the winter for spring construction.
Okay, do we need to make a recommendation then to accept?
We would ask for your agreement with the recommendation made by First Group. So if you could approve that through recommendation, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll make a recommendation that we
Approve their findings.
approve the findings from the engineering department.
And reject, I think the recommendation should be that we reject all bids of the Wildwood closure project.
Okay.
And reject all bids.
Okay, I will concur with that recommendation. Moving on to correspondence B, correspondence received from Milestone requesting road closure of the southbound lanes of Kennedy Avenue, starting from 164th Place to 169th Street for the Phase 2 of this project. This closure is scheduled to begin October 10th, 2022, and will last approximately 2.5 months, weather dependent.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Hi, Mark.
Hi. So we're going to flip traffic on that basically, and NIPSCO's going to be in there doing some pole relocations southbound. But once that's complete, our idea is to open it to two-way traffic. So that should happen sometime in November, depending upon the work NIPSCO's doing.
Gotcha.
So It's going well. They have brickwork to do yet on the east side, but they can do that under traffic.
Okay.
It's just in the parkway.
Okay.
So I would recommend.
Thank you, Nate.
Thank you.
So I'll make a recommendation that we approve the milestone requesting road closure of the southbound lanes of Kennedy Avenue.
And I will concur. Okay. Letter C, correspondence received from resident Shar Ridgel requesting speed bumps, children at play signs, and more stop signs in the Pullman Standard Historic District for children's safety concerns. I know this has been the speed bumps topic has been a hot topic lately.
I'd ask you refer the request to engineering for specificity, and we'll make a recommendation to the board on a way forward. Thank you.
Thanks, Dean. I'll make a recommendation that we refer Ms. Ridgel's request to engineering department.
And I will concur.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter D, correspondence received from Aaron Eggers, First Baptist Church of Hammond, requesting to park their church buses on State Street for a 6-week trial basis on Sunday, November 6, 2022 to December 18, 2022, and requesting permission to close off a portion of State Street from the entrance of their handicap parking lot to Oakley Street and from Oakley Street to the Hammond Public Library from 8:30 a.m. until 1 p.m. and from 5 p.m. until 8:30 p.m., leaving Oakley Street open.
I mean, it's a pretty significant closure. I guess I'd probably ask PD to comment on whether they believe this is going to be an issue or not. Because if the way I read it, it would, I don't know, it says at some point it says it's closing Oakley Street, but then it says leaving it open. So I assume that's going from State across almost to Sibley, where the library is,
Yes.
on Oakley?
All the way to the library, yes.
On Oakley.
Yes.
Because the library's on Seoul, isn't it?
So it's on Sibley and Seoul there.
Yeah.
on the
So where are they talking about closing State from Oakley to?
State, they're not, yeah, I never got Oakley being closed off, just State being closed off.
From the parking lot to Oakley, and from Oakley Street, so it must be still State Street.
So we're just talking about only State Street.
Only State Street, that's the way I read it. Yeah, okay.
Fully closed State Street for how long?
6-week trial basis.
Well, that was for parking buses.
Yeah, Kevin, if you look, I don't know if you can see this or if you want to take, it's, you can see they're closing off Sibley in just 2 different locations, but Oakley is
And that
open.
street is open
Yeah,
still.
State, sorry, did I say Sibley?
Yeah. State between
State.
Oakley and Seoul, is that basically it?
Yes.
About? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know that's mostly their property there. I guess I would just ask PD if they believe that's a concern to close it on a Sunday for that long. 8:30 to 1 and 5 to 8:30. I mean, I would defer to public safety on that. So,
Well, my thought is that we don't have a lot of traffic on that road on Sundays typically.
unless it's church traffic.
Unless it's church traffic. And maybe even though we're going to grant the 6-week trial period, maybe after a week or two, if we see it's a problem, we address it with them.
Yeah, so maybe if you want to set it for a status for a couple of weeks and see if
That's what I was thinking too,
okay.
same thing.
Yeah.
So
Status for.
And you'll have somebody check on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll make a recommendation that we defer this.
We're going to grant it
Grant, yeah, we're going to
Grant
approve it.
Okay,
and
grant it
request the status in 2
and
weeks.
request status in a couple of weeks, which will be our October 20th meeting.
Well, they don't start until November 6th, right?
November 6th, so it'd have to be November 13th, 20th, right?
November
20th.
17th.
No, it starts November.
But I think Thursday for our meeting is the 17th.
Yeah,
Okay, I got you, they're starting a different day, so
they're
it would
starting on
be,
a Sunday.
so then it would be
The
the
17th.
two after that Sunday, they're going to start, yeah, the 17th, yeah,
Okay,
okay.
so we'll defer to the November 17th meeting.
Okay, and I will concur. Okay, letter E, correspondence received from Thomas Soroviak, Tom's Treasure Chest, requesting permission to install a signpost at the corner of Holman and Conkey, informing former customers of the new location at 411 Conkey. His business has been affected by the coronavirus, cost increases, and now the road closure due to the railroad construction. Additionally, customers parking in front of store inhibits dump truck traffic flow. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
I was just going to,
First of all, are you Mr. Soroviak?
my
Okay,
name is Tom Soroviak.
thank you.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Just one point here. I'm wanting the sign to be located at where my fire happened a year and a half ago or so. And that would have been at Wildwood and Holman, not at Conkey and Holman. A different purpose.
Okay.
So, Mr. Soroviak, have you contacted the planning department regarding your sign? Because the signs are regulated through zoning, and so the zoning department, and downstairs in the basement, Tom Novak specifically, the assistant city planner, he deals with all signage. So is there a reason you came to Board of Public Works first, or are you just looking to figure out where to go?
It's just a simple sign that I want to install, like the realtors do.
Yeah.
And I just want to bring some customers in, and I have approval from NIPSCO,
Yeah.
for that 811, and I have approval and permission from the landlord that was my landlord at that location.
That's great. So it would still be considered to be a temporary sign?
Yes.
And so you can only use it 60 days out of the year, and no more than a 30-day period, but it still goes through zoning, which is on the basement floor. They do temporary sign applications.
Okay.
So it doesn't usually come through this board.
Well, I try to find out what to do.
Yeah, and I'm just letting you know that if you don't get an answer here today, that the place to go is basement floor, Tom Novak, assistant city planner. There's a temporary sign form you fill out, and he'll help you with that. And I can write that down for you if you want.
Oh, yeah, just the name, Tom Novak.
Tom Novak, we got
Ask
it.
him about that second part of his request.
Okay.
Hold on.
Comment?
Yes.
I'll take him down there.
Okay, thanks.
I'll show you what
The second part of your request, Mr. Soroviak, was the issue with parking in front of the store?
Yes.
Okay, what exactly are you saying there? How does it inhibit dump truck traffic?
Well, the dump trucks and the big dump trucks, at this point, and it changes periodically, they have access to their destination for hauling away all of the scrap, concrete and tracks and everything. And they're large trucks, and they have only one access at this point to get to their destination to pick up the loads. And so they're long trucks, they have to use that one entrance, and that's right at my parking area, so
I've seen it. They stage there.
Yeah.
They stage like 4, 5, 6 trucks on the east side of Conkey. North side of Conkey.
Right.
And they wait to get called up, and then they get called up to wherever they're going to dump. And so they use Conkey as a staging area.
I don't know how we can help him in that regard,
Well, I
though,
guess
right?
the only thing I can think of is Dean could talk to the contractor about them potentially staging on the south side of Conkey, west of the tracks, potentially, instead of on the east side of north side of Conkey, on the east side of the tracks, right? Because they're literally right in front. No one would be able to park and go to a store.
Okay.
That's what they are. So the other thing I want to mention is Jordan just mentioned to me that the reason he was sent to Board of Public Works by Nick was that the sign he wants to put up may be located in the easement, or in the right-of-way, rather. So maybe that's why the Board of Works would be, yeah. So, generally we don't allow signage in the right-of-way. We don't. We'd probably have to find out the exact location he wants to put it, because you can imagine if we're putting signs in the right-of-way, then everybody could put a sign in the right-of-way. I would say, however, that people do put signs in the right-of-way. I can think of a couple right now in Calumet Avenue down between 171st and 173rd, but it's not legal under the city ordinance. So, I don't know if any of the inspectors have any, George, do you have anything you have to add, or Bill?
No.
Okay,
The only thing that I'd be able to add is that I can go and meet him at location, get photos of where he wants to install the sign, so that I can provide them to Dean, so that he can make his assessment.
yeah, that'd be good, we could do that, and then if it is a temporary sign situation, like if he puts it right on the property
Right.
where his landlord used to be, he's fine, and just, it's a temporary sign, fill out a temporary sign, pay for it, good to go. So, it's just a matter if he wants to put it in the right of way, that's where we'll probably have an issue with it, but if Jordan wants to follow up, that'd be great.
May I ask when a right-of-way,
Like a
Would
sidewalk.
be to forward his first request
In the Forest Parkway,
for the recommendation. The second part of his
the curb and the property.
He's behind the sidewalk, no problem. In front of the sidewalk,
What about on the sidewalk?
well, in front of the back of the wall.
yeah, that little spot is marked.
You already marked it?
Oh, yes.
Then I'll be out there to get photos, and then I'll submit them to Dean.
So would the recommendation be the first part of his request forward to code enforcement for the recommendation, second part to engineering?
Second part, to engineering, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I will make that recommendation that we forward, Mr. Soroviak's, request, the first part of it to code enforcement, and his second part of the request to our engineering department.
And I will concur. Thank you, Mr. Soroviak. Hopefully we get you helped out there, okay?
You will help me.
Okay, we'll try our best.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to new business. Oh, excuse me, yes, forgot about that. Is there any matters from board members?
Yes, I will actually like to make a recommendation, for the agreement to rehabilitate, the property located at 2314 Indianapolis Boulevard.
Anybody?
Oh, sorry, it wasn't on the, matters from the board members, I'm skipping ahead. Yes, I actually, the property owner came upstairs today and signed, the agreement. I believe we're good to go, if we would please accept it as presented, as long as you have the signed version.
It's signed.
Okay, yep.
It's signed. Okay, make that a recommendation to approve it as accepted, yeah.
Okay, I'll make a recommendation that we approve as presented in the packet.
Okay, and I will concur. Thank you. Okay, moving on to new business. Agreement with Hawk Enterprises Incorporated for the decorative lighting installation on Tapper between Maywood Elementary School and Carroll Avenue in the amount of $505,193.90 submitted for approval.
Yeah, we awarded the contract to Hawk Enterprises for the amount stated. This is a project that is being worked on cooperatively between the 3rd District Councilman using 3rd District Gaming and Mayor's Gaming. Very favorable pricing on this project, and the recommendation was to execute the agreement with the Board of Public Works and Safety. There should, I think last week we approved the funding allocation already, so we should be good to go on all that. So I'd ask for your approval of the agreement.
Hopefully this isn't going to be a for approval. But I will
Thoughtful.
approve
Kerfuffle?
the
Nice.
agreement with Hawk Enterprise.
And I will concur.
Thank you.
Okay, letter B, funding allocation request from 3rd District Councilman Barry Tyler Jr. requesting $32,823.46 of gaming funds be allocated for the Tapper Avenue lighting project from Moss Street to Carroll Street, submitted for approval.
This is the funding allocation to amend Nice Engineering's agreement to do the construction engineering, the observation on the project. We have an agreement from Nice. I just didn't get it on the board's agenda this week. I'll make sure I do that next week. So we'll have a follow-up agreement next week, but we'd ask for your approval of the funding allocation.
Okay, and I will point out it's been signed by the controller and the mayor, along with Councilman Tyler.
So I'll make that recommendation that we approve the funding allocation Councilman Tyler is requesting.
And I will concur. Thank you. Letter C, order to rescind and release order to demolish for property located at 4735 Homan Avenue, submitted for approval.
This property has been completed for some time. We're just doing the final paperwork to make sure that the lien is, or that any cloud on the title is released, so I'd request its approval.
Okay.
So I'll make that recommendation that we approve the order to rescind and release.
And I will concur. Letter D, a memorandum of understanding governing the usage of security cameras between the Hammond Police Department and Housing Authority of the City of Hammond, submitted for approval.
This is similar, so the reason we needed this in place was that the Housing Authority is a separate entity from the city, of course. This was requested by Captain Grasha at the police department, and it allows use of the police cameras and to share information between property at the Housing Authority and the PD. So we'd request its approval, provided it's signed, I believe it.
It is signed.
Thanks.
And we look forward to it, too.
Yep, if we could just make sure Linda to provide a copy of that over to Carmen and to Mike Jositis, thank you, and to Shauna Levinson.
I will make that recommendation that we approve the memorandum of understanding governing usage of the security cameras between the Hammond Police Department and the Hammond Housing Authority.
I'll concur. Letter E, resolution of the Board of Public Works and Safety for disposition of real property assessed at less than $15,000 regarding property located at 6235 Monroe, submitted for approval.
So, as the board's aware, the law department gets requests, as does the planning department, and this is a vacant lot next to a lot that is owned by a gentleman that has requested an interest in it. To dispose of that, because it's city-owned property, there's a statutory scheme that is set up to allow the purchasing agent, or I'm sorry, the disposal agent, which is the board, to make some findings. You'll see in the resolution there are two findings that need to be made. One, I believe it indicates that there's no economic value in setting this over pursuant to the usual way we would dispose of property. Mm-hmm. And the other one, I can't remember. What's number one there, Jeff?
Number one, do you want to read the whole thing?
Just the two findings at the bottom, I think there's.
Well, there's a lot of,
Sorry.
it's okay. I have to take a look at it, Kev. There's a lot of whereas. Yeah. I don't know which whereases you're talking about.
Yes, it's not even in the whereases. It's, so the findings are that the disposing agent, which is you, makes a determination that the highest and best use of the tract is sale to the abutting landowner, and secondly, that it's economically unjustifiable to sell the tract under the usual process. Because this is this vacant lot is assessed at $6,600, we can do it through this process. So I'd request its recommendation so that the law department can then send out the notices to the abutting landowners and see who wants it and for what price.
Just approving the resolution, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'll make a recommendation that we approve the resolution.
And I will concur. Letter F, Robert Stell Access Agreement for property located at 1238 Lakeview Avenue, submitted for approval.
This is just another participant in the letter mediation program. We'd request its approval.
Thank you.
I will make a recommendation that we approve the agreement for property located at 1238 Lakeview.
And I will concur. Letter F, garage sale permit, submitted for approval. We probably should.
So what do I look for?
We look for, they can be only 2 days, and that's it, pretty much. No more than 2 days. And that they're signed. It's pretty.
Okay, I will make a recommendation, we approve all garage sale permits.
And I will concur. Okay, number 10, old business. Letter A, status 4905 Linden Street.
Mr. Luter and I were just discussing this property. This is Mr. Taylor's. It's been before the board for years. Apparently, he just passed a framing inspection. Things are moving along a little bit, so if we could have a 60-day status on this.
Okay, I will make a recommendation that we hold status in 60 days for the property 4905 Linden Street.
We're going to be probably December 15th. Is that about right? If you could set it for that day.
Okay, we'll set it for December 15th.
And I will concur. Okay, letter B, status for 4407 Baltimore.
So, Just to remind the board, this is the property where we had a gentleman, I think, passed away, needed adult services. His son came in. He was the current owner just through the estate. We do have a demo order on it, current. We have a bid out for demolition. NIPSCO, the property is in such poor condition that NIPSCO called me to let me know they couldn't get to the meter. So we had to have a contractor come out. I think Mr. Farrell figured that out, yes. And a contractor to come out and actually clear away a lot of, I think, a beehive and a lot of other trees and things like that so that NIPSCO can now get to the meter and terminate electricity and gas. I do know that the new owners, even though they were warned that this is under a demo order, and at least from our estimation, without an inspection, it appears to be unsalvageable of a property. They still paid for an inspection. Mr. Luter informed me that he's going to, of course, do the inspection because that's his duty to do so, and will report back. So the official report, I guess, will be awaiting Mr. Luter's recommendation. However, I can tell you that from the law department's perspective, we have informed the owner that we are moving forward with the demolition, and once it's terminated, we're turning it over to the demo contractor. So
do we need another status or no?
sure, I don't think that hurts. 30 days.
Gets us to November 10th or 17th?
Yep, and then I would just ask Linda to make sure that the notice is sent out. You can ask Madeline to do it to the new owners and the prior, and Mr. I forget the name, but
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, I will make a recommendation that we set status for November 10th for the property of 407.
And I will concur. Okay, letter C, status, Jimenez Auto.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning,
Morning.
folks.
Good morning. Good morning.
The last time we were here, we kind of wrapped up the approval for the plans for the 4715 Hammond property to basically approve the plans so that it could be converted into the auto lot. Right now, it is a car wash, and it continues to operate as a car wash. My client has been consulting with contractors, and my understanding is he's found someone that he wants to use. They're just very, very backed up, and they haven't been able to come out and do what they need to get the building permits, et cetera. Is there anything that he wanted to add on concerning the contractors?
Just, one of the contractors said that they would come out tomorrow. I guess that they were pretty backed up, that they didn't have availability to come out. But he says that somebody will be out tomorrow. And they have the contractor on hand, but there was nothing else that we were able to do pretty much.
Yeah, so the contractor they're planning on using is Calumet Painting and Restoration for the interior work. I'm not sure if they're handling the landscaping, but
They do everything.
the bottom line is it's going to take them a little bit longer to get those contractors out and to do their job. And once the property has actually been put in the condition that was presented per the plans, then we'll circle back around and we'll apply for the business license to put the auto shop there instead of the car wash. There was a previous issue, I know, with the license for the car wash. I got that resolved this morning. There was just a fee that needed to be paid. I understand the old premises also has two businesses running out of the same location. I did talk to the comptroller, the controller's office about that, and I guess it seems to me like it might be a little bit of a chicken and egg kind of thing, because the city's not going to grant a license for two businesses out of the same location. My client is certainly willing to work out some sort of arrangement if there's back fees that need to be paid, but I think really what needs to happen is we probably just need to get the auto business out of that location into the new one with the new license.
I mean, that was the goal, right?
Yeah.
What we did, we kind of looked past the fact that there were two, you remember this?
Right, oh, absolutely.
We looked past the fact that there were two licenses there because, provided that Jimenez was going to move, that was gonna fix that issue. I'm not sure, and without Brian here today, I'm not sure the status of, the new plan for the car wash. We've been kind of going round and round on this for some time. So maybe Christian could update us on what the new plan is regarding, I know they have a use for it, but then what's going to happen with the minutes?
Well, as far as the plan for the car wash goes, we did consult with Brian pretty extensively, and he approved the plans that we put in front of him. So I think that we've got something that works.
Is it ready to go to the plan commission?
My understanding from talking with Brian was that I don't think that we needed additional approval because it was a, yeah, it was a permitted use is how we were going to look at it. So I think they just need to do the work, get the building permit, do the work, and then apply for the new business license at the new location and get it moved.
What's the timeline for that?
Do you have any idea as far as the construction goes, what?
Más o menos de tiempo de construcción, o sea, ahorita ya sería nomás arreglarlo para poder mover.
If they're coming tomorrow, I don't know how much time they would need. Do you know for sure the plans were approved? Because the parking has always been an issue for me.
But it's gonna be
The new place.
Yeah.
The new place, I don't know where they're gonna park everybody. There's no room for parking there either.
He's not quite sure of the time frame. Just in light of the contractor needs to come out and, tell him.
Because I don't think internally I've seen anything where I've seen anything that says the plans are approved. I'm not saying they haven't been, I just haven't seen it.
Do you just need confirmation from Brian? Because I've got some emails where we went back and forth, and he finally said, all right, we're good to do it this way.
It's probably a week or two.
Yeah, I think we probably need to have Mr. Mullen.
It's been going long.
Mr. President, if we could maybe have Mr. Pullen show up here for him to update the board, I think that'd be appropriate. Yeah.
So how long?
He was asked to appear today, but apparently I don't know why he couldn't be here.
So do we need to do it they're coming tomorrow, correct? This construction company? So is next week enough? Give them 1 more week. Give them 2 weeks from today?
Yeah, at the most, we need to.
I know.
We need to hear from Brian.
Trust me.
And I think is the construction on their use, or is it on their, I thought I heard you say you had like a rent, someone that's gonna come into the car wash, or no?
No, it would be their business. They just
I think October.
need to
That's probably what we're gonna.
rehab it so that it's appropriate for an auto shop versus a car wash.
Okay, I'd set it for next week.
Okay, you would?
Oh, Brian's not here next week. Okay.
So the 20th.
October 20th? Okay.
All right, I'll make a recommendation, we set status for this on October 20th with Brian Pullen being present.
Is that good, sir?
9 a.m.
Yes.
Give me just 1 second here. Yeah, I think that'll work.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I will concur. I'm writing down Brian Poland, sorry.
All right, thanks.
Okay, letter D, temporary stop signs, the corner of Vine and Arizona, 90-day status.
These signs went up as a result of the closure right on Kennedy Avenue where northbound traffic was not permitted because of the construction. Earlier in the meeting agenda, you approved a milestone request to switch phasing. We suspect at that time those signs could come down because northbound traffic will resume.
Okay.
Southbound traffic obviously will be closed, right? And they'll take the same detour Southbound traffic, let's see, do I have that right? Yeah, northbound traffic resumes. Southbound traffic now will have to go 65th to Grand, Grand to 69th and back. So it may be that cut-through traffic wants to use Arizona. So we'll reevaluate that when that switch happens.
So what do you need the recommendation to be then, Dean?
Can I have 60 days?
60 days more?
Yeah,
Okay. So
60
set it for
days, yeah.
status to December 15th or something like that?
yeah, that's fine.
So you're going to extend the temporary?
Yeah,
Extend the temporary stop signs to December
All right,
15th.
I will make a recommendation. We extend the temporary stop signs on the corner of Vine and Arizona till December 15th, 2022.
And I will concur.
thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Okay, 11, rental registration hearings. I don't think there are any. The meeting's open to the public. Number 12. Anybody care to speak? Okay, you can make a recommendation now to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a recommendation. We adjourn the meeting.
And I will concur. Thank you, everyone.